welcome or welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Andrea, and in this channel we talk all things edtech, business, mindset, online teaching, or teaching in general. So again, my name is Andrea and I am an English teacher currently living and working in the south of Italy. Now, by the title of this video, you may already know what I'm going to be talking about, and that is some of the things that surprised me about working in Italian public schools here in Italy. I have not worked in a public school in Argentina per se, but of course I attended a public school in Argentina and I know some classrooms and of course the education system, so that's something that I would like to talk about. Some of the things that surprised me some of the things that surprised me, then you can like decide if they're good or bad. Anyways, so the first thing that I'm gonna say that surprised me the most was the fact that there are so many resources. I usually post some pictures on my Instagram. I wouldn't say like on the daily, but I usually post some pictures of my classroom. So if you're not following me on Instagram, make sure to follow me. I'm gonna leave the link in the description box. And basically, like all of the classrooms that I work in, which may be like 10 different classrooms, all of them have a smart board or a projector, and it's not like a projector that you have to like ask for in advance, so that someone can leave it to you, so that someone can lend it to you. No, they are in the classroom 24/7. You use them whenever you want, and yeah, so that's one of the things that I really like about it, is the fact that you have a projector. So if you want to watch videos, if you want to play a game, or if you have like a PowerPoint presentation, you just have to plug in your pen drive or open your Google Drive account, whatever, and then you just go from there. Some of these schools do have a smart board, the one that's a touch screen, let's say, and some others don't. Some others is just like the projector and the computer, and that's it. Which, I mean, personally speaking, those are the ones that I don't like, because I normally ask my students to just go to the board and click or tap, like, I don't know, an answer or whatever. So these are the ones that I don't personally like, simply because it's just there. So it's just a projector. It's not like a smart board from my perspective. Another thing that I really like about the classrooms is the fact that all of them have like audio equipment. So if you want to play music, if you want to watch a video, more often than not, the speakers are going to be working and they're going to be super useful at any stage of the lesson, which I think that's like wonderful, of course. So you don't have to carry around like a Bluetooth speaker. I usually do, simply because, I mean, you never know. But it hasn't quite happened to me that I have to use it like on a daily basis, simply because the speakers are already there. What has happened is the fact that some of these places, I'm sorry for that, I don't know if you could hear that. Well, basically, some of these places don't have, or like it's very difficult. Like if you have your things in your pen drive, or if you have your things like the audios and everything, if you have them in your Google Drive, it's very difficult to access them, because it really depends on whether or not like these equipment is connected to a laptop or a PC. Because if it's not connected to a laptop or a PC, it's just like a tablet, and it's very difficult to handle, and it's very difficult to like do all of these things, like accessing your Google Drive and all of that in like minutes. So yeah, I usually carry around the Bluetooth speakers, especially for like occasions where I don't have a PC, and it's just like a tablet. But yeah, again, like we have these things. Another great thing is the fact that I don't know if this has happened, like if they have bought the cameras simply because of COVID and because of like hybrid lessons, online lessons or whatnot. But we do have cameras in the classroom, and these cameras can be used when students are hybrid and learning hybrid, which is like something that's like for another video. But yeah, we do have cameras, HD webcams, and we can use them when we are teaching and some of the students are at home. Then another thing that I really like about public schools in Italy is the fact that at least the schools that I work at have either an elevator, which I think it's good for in terms of like accessibility, and probably like people who work there or who study there who might require them. Or they have some sort of, I know it's like a machine that, especially if you are a wheelchair user, you can just put yourself there, and then that machine will take you to like the next floor. To the floor that you want, basically. So that's something else that I really like. I don't know if it's used, but it's there. I have seen it. I have never seen it being used. Another great thing about like classrooms in general is let's say like the desk and chairs and all of that, because the tables are really, the tables are big and the chairs are quite comfortable. So from my perspective, I think that they're super useful because the students do have plenty of space to put their pencil cases, to put their, like whatever they have to use during the lesson, and it's pretty comfortable for them. And this is something that differs from like Argentina, because most of these things are like similar, whereas at least in the schools that I studied at, like the desks would sometimes be in a different style than, I don't know, the chairs. Or another thing was that you would have to share, like the same classroom that you use in the morning was used by a different group in the afternoon, which sometimes meant that, I don't know, if you were 30 in the morning and 35 in the afternoon, then the next morning you would have 5 extra desks, 5 extra chairs, which, I don't know, somebody would just enter the classroom in order to take them because they need it elsewhere. Whereas here, what I noticed is that schools, like primary schools, they just work in the morning, and then in the afternoon they have some special subjects. For example, some of the schools that I work at have like Cambridge exam preparation courses, which all happen in the afternoon. Whereas in Argentina, like these primary schools, it really depends on primary schools, but at least, again, the ones that I attended, we had like a morning, like students who would go in, who would have lessons in the morning, and students who would have lessons in the afternoon. Whereas here it's just like they just have lessons in the morning, and then in the afternoon they would have like these extra like clubs or subjects if they wanted to like attend. And this is also in the case of secondary school students, because I teach at a secondary school, and they have the same thing. So they go in the morning, and then in the afternoon they just go if they decide to sign up for special classes, such as, I believe it's like maths, English, exam preparation courses, and as well as Spanish. I was also told about like the possibility of learning Spanish. But yeah, so this is like also, and that's also surprising, because I noticed that many of these students who go to public schools do have the opportunity to take these special classes, which I believe that they do pay a certain fee to attend, but it's a very low fee, which I guess it's helpful in terms of like allowing more students to take advantage of these courses, which otherwise it would be like way too expensive to take. So yes. Then another like, I would say that one of the things that surprised me the most was the fact that students, I mean, they do have uniforms, but at least in Argentina, if you go to a public school, it means that your uniform is basically like a white jacket, a white coat. The same for teachers. Whereas here, students who go to public schools, they do have their own uniform. And what I noticed is that they even have their names on their uniforms, like on their jackets, on their t-shirts, sometimes on their pants. They do have them. Just like sometimes, like, I don't know, like I thought that I was like strange because normally in Argentina, these things would only happen at private schools, whereas here it happens in public schools as well. And teachers do not have to wear a jacket for that matter. So that's great. So with this whole thing with the and everything, one of the things that I really liked about schools in general is the fact that we have alcohol, like to spray our hands, to spray like the kids' hands. We do have some sort of like it's like a spray which we use to like clean the desks, the chairs, or basically any surface that we want to clean. And then another thing is the fact that kids do have access to masks. So in the case of, for example, like, I don't know, something happens to the masks that they are wearing, or the masks that, I don't know, they brought, or they have run out of masks, then the teachers are able to give them masks for them to wear until the end of the lesson. And also something else that I noticed about public schools is the fact that the classrooms tend to be very big in comparison to classrooms in Argentina. So one of the things that I noticed, and I don't know if this is just because of the whole situation or not, but like each desk, they sit in like rows. And when I remember that when I was studying, we would sit in like two desks together, and then we would leave like an aisle, like an empty aisle, and then two desks, and then an empty aisle, and then two desks, because it was like easier for everyone to just fit inside of the classroom. Whereas here, no, it's like a desk, an aisle, a desk, an aisle, a desk, an aisle, and so on. And so they do have most of them have air conditioner or heating. And one of the most surprising things, I think, was the fact that the desks were clean. Like nobody would. I mean, sometimes you can't find someone who is like writing on the desk, but it's rare. That rarely happens. Usually, the surface is clean. They are really like well preserved, and I really think that students do take care of the materials that they have in their classrooms. So things like chalk, erasers, all of them are provided, I believe, by the school. And like in general, even like teachers' bathrooms. Because for example, when I attended a teacher training college, in the building we didn't even have like toilet paper. We didn't even have like paper towels to dry our hands, let alone soap. So, however, like here, kids do have access to all of that. Teachers have access to all of that. And in some of these bathrooms, we even have, like air dryers, but for your hands, which I thought that I was like, wow. Okay, wow. He's like, I don't know, like we don't have that. We didn't have that in Argentina, at least not in public school. So I thought that I was like quite surprising. I don't want to sound like, yeah, we didn't have that. And yeah, so these are some of the things that surprised me about public schools, and also the fact that students' English levels, especially, I mean, I cannot, like, we just, like, with kids, we just teach, like, things for kids. So, but for example, we in Argentina, it's mandatory to teach English as of 7th grade, whereas here we are teaching them in 1st, 2nd, and 3rd grade. I have no idea about 4th, 5th, or 6th. I don't know about them, but we teach English to 1st graders, 2nd graders, and 3rd graders. And one of the things that I notice is the fact that students who get to secondary school, their level is super high. And when I mean like super high, some of them are taking pre-advanced courses, advanced courses, or FCE, like B2 first courses, when they are secondary school students. And that is just like public schools. They also, another thing that I found surprising was the fact that the students do have to attend classes on Saturdays. I was told by my students that it was just like in the morning, but still, I don't know. I think that it's just like sometimes it can be like too much. And yeah, so they go to school from Mondays to Saturdays, and the only day off that they have is Sunday. I don't know, like from my perspective, I have said that like multiple times, but I have told them that I found that to be very sad, in the sense of like they have told me that as well, is that they do not have enough time to enjoy life. And I don't know, like I found that to be like very sad, like not having enough time, because you have to study a lot, because there's like all of these expectations and these deadlines that you have to meet. And just because we're in the middle of this does not mean that they get to like relax a bit, which I also found like, I don't know, like I don't agree with it. But anyways, yeah, that's also something that I found surprising. And this actually happened when I was like, I teach secondary school students on Friday, and I usually tell them have a great weekend, hope you can rest. And once they told me we're not resting because we have lessons tomorrow, and I was like, okay, probably just because of this Saturday, right? And they were like, no, we always have lessons on on Saturdays, you know. I don't know, like I found that like to be like surprising. First of all, odd, and then surprising, and then I was like, this is sad, because like the only day that you have off is just Sundays. And what can you do on just like one day? Can you actually relax? Can you actually just, I don't know, be mentally elsewhere? I think not. But yeah, so these are some of the things that I found surprising about working in public schools in Italy, both in primary and secondary. If you have any other questions, please make sure to leave them in the comments. I'll make sure to answer. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram, where I show you a bit about my day-to-day life here in the south of Italy. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll be seeing you in the next video. Bye.